Hey guys, welcome to the Creative Arena. So if you've been following our channel, you notice we've been creating some cool GSAP animations on the Elementor page builder, some of which are scroll-based animations, others are onload animations, and even text animation effects. We've created stuff like that. Today's tutorial, we're going to create another scroll-based animation using GSAP ScrollTrigger effect. As you can see here, now when you scroll, you're going to have your text appear, and then your images start appearing randomly, as you can see. They keep appearing, and then we'll now have a video appear as well. Now, the animation speed depends on how fast or slow we scroll, and if you're using the Elementor free version, you can also achieve this cool effect by following this step-by-step tutorial, and it is responsive on all devices. And get this, you can also add a call to action to this particular effect, like what we'll have here. If you scroll, you now have a call to action, and this button is also clickable. We can change for the responsiveness on tablet and see how it looks on tablet. Now we scroll, you have your text fade in, you continue scrolling, the images start coming in one after the other, taking random positions, as you can see. And then you now have your video come in like this. Okay, we can also check it out on mobile. And also when you scroll, you have your text fade in. You now have your images coming in, taking random position like that. And then you have your video come in as well. So this is a wonderful effect that you can use to add style to your project or whatever you're working on. And you can even use it for showcasing your portfolio, even showcasing your services and lots more. So without further delay, let's dive in and get started. In our Elementor editing screen, what I'll do here is I'll click on this plus icon here, select the flexbox container, then I'll select this structure here. I'll set the content width to full weight. For the minimal height, I change the unit from pixel to VH and give it the value of 100. Then I'll come over here, justify content to the center and align item to the center. Then I'll come over to add element and add a container widget. So now, for reference purposes, I'm just going to call this first container here our parent container. Then come over here, this container within the parent container, I'm going to call it our description container. Okay, so for the description container, I make sure I set the content width to boxed, and then come over here, justify content to the center and align item to the center. Now I'll go back to add element and I'll select the heading widget. And for the heading text, what I'll write here is our works. Then I'll come over to the style option. For the alignment, I set it to the center. Typography, I give it a font family of architect's daughter. Then for the font size, I'll change the unit from pixel to rem and give it a value of 5 rem. Font weight, I set it to 600 semi-bold. And I come over here and change the color to black. I go back to add element and I add the text editor. Now for the text content, we're just going to have this content there. Go to the style option, set the alignment to the center. Typography, I set the font family to be the same as that of the heading text, which is architect's daughter. Then for the font size, I change the unit from pixel to rem and give it a value of 1.3 rem. Font weight, I set it to 500 medium. Okay, then I'll go to the advanced settings. I come over here to the content width, and then I set it to custom, and then give it a value of 70%. Then we can still come over here to the style option. Now for the paragraph spacing, if you do not like this space at the bottom here, you can just set it to 0, and you've taken that out. Now this is what we'll have. Okay. Now what I'll do next is I'm just going to toggle this, then select the parent container, go to the add element and add an image. Then come over here to the image resolution, I'll set it to full. Then I'll go to my media library and select an image. Then I'll come down here and I'll select this image here. Then I'll go to the style option. For the width, I'll set the unit to pixel and give it a value of 750 and then a height of 450 pixel. Okay, so this is what we'll have. Then I'll come over here, object fit, I set it to cover. Come down to where we'll have the border radius. I'll give it a border radius of 20 pixel all around. Then we're going to give it a box shadow. Now for the box shadow, horizontal, we'll set it to 1. Vertical, we're going to set it to 1. Blur, we're going to set it to 18. and then spread, leave it at 0. Now for the box shadow color, we're going to bring it to 3.7. Yeah, like that. So we'll have a subtle blur. You can see subtle box shadow effect. Okay. Now, what I'll do next is I'll come over here to the advanced settings. Now, I'm going to add a CSS class to our image. I'll go to my code editor. Now, this is the class we'll be adding to the image, and then I'll just paste it here. The reason I'm doing this now is so that when we start duplicating this image, we won't need to add the CSS class to the individual images. So the next thing I'll do here is to add a video. Now I'll come over here, select the parent container, then come over to the add, and let's add a container right below this. Okay, now come over to the content width, set the width to full width. For the width, I set the unit to pixel, give it a value the same as that of the image, 750 pixel. Height, I set it to 450 pixel. Okay, so this is what we'll have. Then I'll go to the style option. For the background type, I'm going to set it to video. Now I'll come over to my media library. This is the video we'll be using, so I'll just copy the video out. And then I'll come back here and I'll paste the URL here. Okay, then I'll come over to play on mobile. Then I'll come down here to where we'll have the border. For the border radius, the same as that we did for the image, I'll set it to 20 pixel. And then for the box shadow, I'm going to do the same for the box shadow. I'll set this to 18. And then for the color, just going to reduce the opacity down to like that. Okay, so we now have it for the image, for the video as well. So the next thing I'll do here is to set the responsiveness of our design. So we'll check it out on tablet. Now on tablet, the text looks okay. However, for the image, we need to reduce the image size. So we'll come over here and then we're going to set this to 500. And then the height, we're going to set it to 300. So we'll have something like that. Come over here to the container and we're going to do the same. Let's rename this container for reference purposes. Let's call it our video. Now for the video container, we're going to come over here to the layout. And then for the width, set the width to 500. The height, set the height to 300. Okay. Now we'll go to the mobile. On mobile. Now, first off, on mobile, we're going to work on the heading text. We're going to reduce this to 3.5 rem. Then for the text, we're going to come over here and then we're going to reduce the size a little bit to 1 rem, and then go to the advanced settings, change the custom width unit to pixel, and then set it to 90. Set it to 90, like what we'll have here. Then for the image, we're going to come over here to the image. Now, the width, we're going to set the width to 300. And then the height, we're going to set the height to 200. Okay, that is what we'll have. We can still reduce this, but I think this looks better. This is okay. And then I'll do the same for the container, for the video. So I'll come over here for the width, I'll set the width to 300. And then the height, I'll set the height to 200. So we've successfully done, I will successfully set the responsiveness of our design. So we're just going to go back to our desktop. And then I'm going to duplicate this image here because we're having multiple images. So I'll just duplicate them. You can duplicate it as much as you want, depending on how many of your portfolio images you would like to show. So now that I've done that, what I'll do next is I'm going to pause this video while I change the images so we'll have varieties of images. Okay. So as you can see, I've changed the images to varieties of images as we have here. Okay. So the next thing I'll do here is I'm going to add the various CSS classes to our widgets. Okay. So I'll come over to the parent container here, go to the advanced settings. And then for the CSS class, we're going to add the class container to that. Then I'll come over to the description container, go to the advanced settings. And then for the CSS class, we're going to add description to it. Okay, now that I've done that, the next thing I'll do is I'll come over here to the bottom. And then I'll go to add element and search for the HTML widget. I'm going to drag this and drop it here. Okay, then I'll come over to my code editor. Then I'll copy out the code that we'll be using. This is CSS. And then the JavaScript. And then I'll copy this out and I'll paste it here. Okay, so now that we've done this, the next thing I'm going to do here is, as you can see, our video item here is the only one that is still remaining. All the rest images and the description are all no longer visible. So the reason for that is we have not added a class to the video container. So we'll come over to the advanced settings, and then we're going to add the same class we added for the various images. That is the same class we're going to add for the image. And if you're adding, let's say, a call to action or another container or a card here with this effect, you're going to add the same CSS class, which is this, the image content. So we're just going to add it here to the video, and you see it's going to disappear like that. Then we're going to click on the publish, and then we're going to click on preview. So now when you scroll down, this is what you're going to have your text coming like that, and then you now have the images coming in one after the other in a random position, as you can see. And then you now have your video coming like that. As you can see, when you scroll back, everything starts going back same way. Now the speed of how your images appear depends on how fast you scroll. And so we've come to the end of this tutorial. If you've learned something new from this video, remember to hit the like button. And if you're new to our channel, remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified first when I drop a new video. Feel free to drop a comment wherever you're confused, and I'll do well to attend to as much as I can. But until then, see you on our next video. For now, bye-bye.